cheap shot that was.
Hello, Dave.
Afternoon.
How are you?
Not too bad, man. Yourself?
I'm not bad. Not bad. Are you watching the network now?
Yes, I am.
I just tried to put the AJ match on.
Yeah.
I really want to watch it again. Have you seen it yet?
I'm in the middle of watching it now. It's just got to where AJ's in the tractor and then the lights come on and take us behind him.
All right, okay. What do you think?
Yeah, so I like the fact I just put in the group chat actually that it'd be quite interesting because obviously like he's being himself, isn't he? So he's like, "Come on, AJ, here, boy," and all this. Like,
Yeah.
I'd love for them to take his voice and put it over like a Friday the 13th movie. Like Jason's chasing after him, going, "Come here, boy." That'd be really funny.
That's really funny. You know what? I said exactly the same thing
Yeah.
about the match last night. I was like, when I was watching it, I was like, I wasn't quite sure. And then the more I thought about it, the more I thought it was just an awesome B movie. It was just Friday the 13th, WWE style.
It is. I mean, they've got like this abandoned house or like whatever it's supposed to, like barn or whatever it is. They're supposed to be like, oh, pardon me, like fighting around. Like, yeah, like I haven't watched any other match from the show. This is the only match I'm watching.
Yeah.
Solely because I read
it's pretty
everything.
good, to be honest, mate. It's pretty good.
Is it?
Yeah, it's pretty decent. Have you got to the bit where all the other people come in?
Yes, that's before they bury goes to the tractor.
So it turned into a Steven Seagal movie as well.
Yeah, they go like 10 men around, just beats them all up. It's like, okay, like Chuck Norris.
Yeah, exactly. They're just taking everything from Texas, aren't they?
Yeah.
It's Chuck Norris, Steven Seagal.
Yeah.
I'm assuming this is how Dead as well.
I'm assuming this is how the Cena match is going to be then as well, isn't it?
I'm hoping the Firefly Funhouse is going to be like this. I'm so hoping that it is.
Because if it is, I could imagine it. Even if the match itself is pretty poor, I can imagine it being good because they can make all these edits and the camera angles and just make it good.
Yeah, I think that's it, isn't it? It's like I say, I was watching it and then they break through the fence. And it's like they've gone onto a different set.
Yeah.
But yeah, the whole thing is, the more, like I said, the more I think about it, the more awesome it is.
Yeah.
It could possibly be one of my favourite WrestleMania matches.
Really?
Yeah. Okay. Just for pure gimmick alone.
Yeah. Actually, it comes in on the motorbike. You've got like the Metallica song playing over it. And
even AJ's entrance was just fantastic. Because when I was watching it last night, I was like, "Oh yeah, Undertaker's arrived now." And then he opens the casket. It's like, "They don't want none. They don't want none."
Yeah, AJ Styles is there instead.
It's just brilliant.
Yeah, 100%. Like I've really enjoyed it up to this point. As I say, I'm looking forward to seeing that. I don't think it's got much longer. It's got 8 minutes left on the show, so I can't imagine it going for much longer. But it's been pretty good actually.
Yeah, exactly.
Just reading everything because I said to myself, I'm not going to go on Twitter, I'm not going to go on Facebook, I'm not going to go on Instagram. I'm just going to chill out, and then evening will come, and I'll just watch the full show. But then, of course, Caleb woke me up, and then while he was feeding, I was just on my phone, and I went, and it was like, Strowman wins Universal title. I went, oh yeah, Mania's tonight.
The reaction for that was almost as good as the reaction for this. In fact, it may have been better because we're all like, like Goldberg's going to go over now because Roman Reigns is not in it. And then they finally pulled the trigger, but he's just going to be a transitional champion.
Yeah, that's the problem. The thing is, one thing I'm concerned about, because you said there about pulling the trigger, like, are they too late with Braun Strowman to be pulling that trigger? Is it too late?
Is it too late?
Because
Is it ever too late?
he had the chance, like, 2 years ago to pull the trigger, and they
Yeah.
never did.
Yeah. But I like the fact that this is, after years and years and years, we finally get what is basically the setup for a Buried Alive match.
Yeah.
But it's outside, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's kind of, I don't know, can't tell whether it's fully outside or whether it's on a set or what.
It looks like it could be on a set, just based solely on how those gravestones are set up.
Yeah.
It could be like an old movie set somewhere.
Yeah.
But at the same, and also the fact how you get all that smoke there, and it feels like it could be a set. The sky is very black, considering.
Yeah.
It's
I'm loving it. I'm loving it second time round as well. I think I'm liking it even more second time round. I've got to say. Just the whole trash talking thing. And
yeah, I think that's what's got me. The fact that when he sort of walks over, he's like, "Hey, old man," he's like, "You ready?" And he's like, "Yeah, come get it." Yeah. He's like, "I'll come get you, boy." It's almost like the first couple of things he says is just, yeah. And it's like, now it's on. Yeah, it's been really good. I've quite enjoyed it.
Take you being taker.
Yeah. That is it, isn't it? He's just being himself. He's like the actual guy. Like, I suppose, like, they said it's more of a return to 2000s when he was the American Badass and then Big Evil and Dead Man Inc. Where it's him talking, where he probably wouldn't really do that if he was being normal taker, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I think I was talking to Mike about this last night because Leon joined us as well on the Zoom chat.
I saw. Where's Leon's beard gone on a flip of that?
Yeah,
I saw the picture. What's that, Leon? Where's his beard?
Yeah, exactly. I didn't actually notice, to be honest.
Yeah, I saw it.
Just thinking about it, like, he's lost his beard, hasn't he? I was talking to them last night when it finished, and like, do you think this is like a return to the ruthless aggression type era? Do you think they're going to use this time now to transition to something different?
They could do, actually. It could be. It's quite in line with the fact they're releasing that documentary series.
Yeah.
Which I've actually quite enjoyed.
I love the ruthless aggression. I think we have this discussion quite a lot, don't we? What's your favourite era? I'll always go to ruthless aggression.
Yeah.
I love the Attitude Era, but I'll always go to ruthless aggression for my favourite.
You see, that's the difference for me, because I wasn't really there for the Attitude Era. I came in King of the Ring 2000 when I started watching, so I'm at the very, very end, the tail end. Like, I hadn't seen Stone Cold or The Rock or anyone at that point, really. I'd come, the last lot I saw was like King Kong Bundy and Hulk Hogan in a steel cage. And I'd see.
You too.
Yeah, I mean, my auntie had it on VHS, and that was like my only way of watching wrestling, was to borrow these VHS tapes off her, but they were old school. It wasn't anything new.
Yeah, I remember. Well, obviously when I was, WrestleMania 1 was 84, so I would have been 1 year old. So obviously I wasn't into wrestling at that point, but I have obviously seen them. You can appreciate how much effort it took to put these things on, like closed circuit TV.
Yeah,
they put all that stuff on.
Yeah, it was all, that was how the pay-per-views were shown, wasn't it? It was all CCTV. It wasn't like proper camera crews.
Yeah. So that was your first memory then?
Yeah, King of the Ring 2000, man. Undertaker, Kane, Rock versus Vince, Shane, and Triple H for the WWF title.
Yeah,
it's just like, and it was the only reason I ever got back into it was actually because you wouldn't have met him as a mate of mine, Steve. I actually was going to stay over at his house in Kirkby, which I don't think is too far from you, is it?
No, it doesn't sound. It sounds like somewhere around here.
Yeah, he does. But he lives there, and I went to stay over at his, and he was like, "Oh, I've got a couple of mates around. We're going to watch this wrestling show." And I was just like, "Wrestling, really? You know?
God, you?
Yeah, you know." why are we watching wrestling for? Like, Hulk Hogan's still in it? They're like looking at me like, no. Like, okay. Match about? No, he's not in it. Oh, okay. Who's in it? It's like, Triple H. I don't know who that is. The Undertaker. It's like, I know who the Undertaker is. I know who he is. It's fine. Yeah, that was my first pay-per-view match. So coming in off that, like, yeah, like I missed the Attitude Era completely because let's face it, by King of the Ring 2000, WCW was done.
Yeah, true.
They weren't putting out anything worth watching anymore. So it really wasn't the Monday Night Wars anymore. That was over. So the invasion angle and the ruthless aggression era was really my real
your introduction, so to speak, or reintroduction if you're borrowing those tapes off your auntie.
Yeah, because I mean, like, I love watching like the old stuff. Like, one of my favorite wrestlers is obviously the Macho Man and the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase. Like, old school wrestlers, my two favorite. But yeah, that's really sort of come back in, and it's completely different. King of the Ring 2000. We got Undertaker choke slamming Shane McMahon from the top rope through the announcers table, just sat watching it, going, "Yeah, this isn't what I remember."
And the fat Macho Man doing that.
Yeah, that's it. No. Hulk Hogan wasn't doing that to people, brother.
Oh dear. Here's one then for you, right? Because we've gone full on podcast mode now. I'll drop that in now because this
okay, sweet, awesome
situation. I like it being off the cuff, like because we're just chatting, aren't we?
Yeah. I'm happy with
that. Okay, right. If you go back to any WrestleMania and get a front row seat.
Oh yeah.
Which one would it be?
See, I saw you post that before, and you know what? I had a toss up between two. But I think if I was gonna, because I had sort of 23 solely. I think it's 23. The Undertaker versus Batista.
Yes,
23.
I think that's 23. Yeah.
Just because I think that's probably one of my favorite Undertaker matches at WrestleMania. But I think if I was going to actually say yes, this one is the one for me. I think it's probably going to be 17 because it was my first WrestleMania that I properly sat and like as someone who could appreciate it a little bit more, and really enjoy it. I'd seen obviously like the older stuff, like I said, Hulk Hogan and Bundy in a steel cage, but you don't appreciate it when you're that age because you don't get it. But the first proper show I sat on, I watched, it was WrestleMania 17. So, and so many things came from that show that I really liked. Like, I'm probably one of the only people who liked it. But Austin's heel turn for me was a huge thing. Like, I was like, because I didn't know who Stone Cold Steve Austin was. I saw him, like his first proper match back was No Mercy 2000 against Rikishi, which was a bit of a throwaway match, but he'd only really got back into the main event some Survivor Series that 2000. So going into 2001, he was pretty back to where he was pre him getting injured. So it was really cool to see him in the main event. And then the big, I'd heard all him versus McMahon was a big thing in the Attitude Era. Yeah. I was like, to see them up together was pretty funny. And as you know, I'm always a bit more of a fan of the bad guys than the good guys.
Yeah, it's a funny thing, dude, because obviously you know that I'm going to wrestling school.
Yeah.
Not doing any sort of formal wrestling training, so to speak, but
you mentioned
it's an interesting thing because much like you said about the Austin heel turn, it's one of those things I never really appreciated until I was a bit older.
Yeah.
How you're saying about Ted DiBiase, and we talk about this all the time. It's the little things that he did, Ted DiBiase, that made him awesome. And it's those things that me, in particular, I found those later on. I've seen them all, and I absolutely hated them when I was younger because I was like Hulk Hogan and Ultimate Warrior and all that.
Exactly.
And then it came more of an appreciation of the heels. And now it's funny because my character, the Reverend,
is a heel.
Is heel.
Yeah. all the times me and you, like when we were at uni, when we like got out of uni, and all the times we've spoke about like what we would do in wrestling. And you being a heel has never been anything that's ever cropped up.
No.
I don't think ever. It was always, Luke, nah, he's not the heel. he's not the heel of the team.
No. Well, this is the thing, right? When you are playing a character, like I'm sure, you know, AJ Styles, even though he's a flat earther, I'm sure he's absolutely sound outside of being the character that he's playing in this match. He's just been choke slammed off the top of the roof. You know.
Oh man, I've got to pause.
Oh right, you put it on pause. Sorry. Yeah, I guess.
I'm going to unpause it. Turn the volume.
Yeah, I'm watching it while I'm talking to you. I thought you'd gone through it. And I'm sure he plays like a really nice. I'm sure he's a really nice guy in person.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So when I went in, and I went and did the fitness training, just the fitness training, train with the champ. You know,
cool.
It's literally just round robins. You do push-ups, you do sit-ups, and it's for an hour.
Okay.
But you've got someone screaming down your ear telling you to do more. You know what I mean?
Oh wow.
And it's £5. You know, Aspire Wrestling Alliance, shout out. It's £5. It's £5 for that, and then it's £5 for the promo class. So I had my first free one, and I sat through the promo class. I did the training, and then I sat through the promo class.
Okay.
And I was watching these people that I knew, like from watching them. You know, we went to an Aspire show, didn't we?
Yeah.
To an Aspire show and came down to Royal Rumble.
Yeah, it was good.
And these people, yeah. And these people, I sat watching from the crowd. These are the people that I reported on, did reviews for, and all that kind of stuff because I loved what they do. And all of a sudden, I'm in a situation where I'm sat talking to them, like me and you talking now. And I was watching these guys, and they're like the characters, and they're really coming on with their characters, and I'm like, yeah. And I've seen so much progression that other people haven't seen because that progression hasn't actually been fully seen in the ring yet. And it won't be for quite a while, unfortunately. And I'm seeing this progression. And it's like some guys and girls, with some fire in the belly. Like when they do cut a promo, it's going to be good. So I sat watching them, and then I think, was it the second one or the third one? I sat through the second one, and then the third one. We go round in the group. And the third one, Paul said to me, he said, do you want to go? All right, okay. I just got up and did the Reverend thing.
Huh.
And I became the Messiah of Aspire.
The Messiah of Aspire. Gosh.
And I did that before
Nice.
Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
So he copied me.
Yeah. Wait, what was that then? Where did that come from? Because surely that must have been something you've been thinking about before. Surely you didn't just get up there and go, I'm going to be a priest. Let's go.
No. Can you remember when we was at uni?
Yeah.
I don't know if you was with us at this point. But when I was staying with Ben and Gary and Adam and the boys on Dunkley Street,
yeah,
we got uncopiously drunk one night. And went on the internet and got ordained.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember seeing the certificates littered around the house.
Yeah. So it's as simple as that, really.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. I'll just be the Reverend.
Oh God.
I'm not using my real name. I'm using part of my real name. I'm Reverend Edwards.
Yeah. Luke Edwards.
Reverend Luke Edwards.
Got rid of the lightning then. Because I remember there was a point where lightning, wasn't it?
Yeah. There's someone already in Aspire called Lightning Lewis.
Oh.
Yeah. So
that's surely a ready-made feud right there.
Yeah.
Well, you think you're Lightning.
As a wrestling persona, if I was going to get into the ring and actually do the stuff in the ring, Lightning Luke Edwards would be great. But I'm going to be a manager. which I think I am,
Yeah.
Reverend works a lot better.
Mm.
Because if you're lightning and you on outside the ring and you're shouting at people and stuff, to me that doesn't really work. The persona isn't there.
No.
Reverend Luke Edwards, the Messiah of Aspire, I can preach.
Yeah.
I can tell people how bad they are for not following me.
Yeah. Call them all sinners and all that type of stuff.
Yeah, the sinners.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet though. That's
darkness.
But I suppose the question. Sorry, I'm firing questions back at you now.
Yeah, well, this is how it works. Because this is how it worked with Kyle as well. So
okay. So, what do you feel like in terms of comparisons you want to be compared to as a manager? So obviously you've said you want to go in there, you're going to do your sims and stuff. That's pretty sweet. I like the sound of it. But if is there anyone who you think actually I'd quite like to take a bit of their style of management or how they used to be, and I'll bring a little bit of that? Is because I know we've always talked about a couple of different managers. We've always been big fans of.
Yeah.
But is there anyone that you think actually, you know what? There's this thing that this guy once said, and I'm going to somehow get that into my spiel because it's awesome and it's going to work.
Well, I've been using quite a lot of Samuel L. Jackson from Pulp Fiction.
Okay.
Because you all know my name as the Reverend.
Oh yeah.
But in terms of managers, you've got to look no further than if you're looking at modern managers, look no further than Paul Heyman.
Okay.
He knows how to cut a promo.
Yeah.
He's preaching. It's not religious, and I don't see my character, even though I'm a Reverend, I don't see my character as being religious. I'm just preaching.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So he tells you that Brock Lesnar is the reigning, defending, all-conquering beast. Me, I use the prophecy. You will see the prophecy. Who is the prophecy? No one knows. I don't even know. But it's a prophecy.
It's a prophecy.
And it gets people talking, doesn't it?
That's it. So I suppose I don't know how much you know about sort of ROH as a thing, but there was a guy called Truth there, and he had the Book of Truth. And the idea was when anyone read this Book of Truth, they joined his faction and they were healers.
Yeah.
But it's like that's it. No one knew what this Book of Truth said. It was just this book he carried around, probably nothing written in it. But he had this book, and it was this thing. There's he's got the Book of Truth.
Yeah, I love it.
He's buried AJ alive. Oh no, diving off into the.
Yeah, he's literally buried AJ. Because that brings up another question, doesn't it? But we'll get on to that later. But I'm thinking, I'm like telling the listeners here, I'm thinking like a mask or something. Like you put the mask on someone, and they get sort of brainwashed, if you like. Right? Like sort of like a symbol.
If they come to the service, they'll
know.
Yeah,
exactly, something like that. And I've actually got a mask in mind, actually. So, we'll see how that. And I've got an electric lantern that I carry with me. So there's a bit of Bray Wyatt in there.
Yeah.
Bit of the Wyatt family. But in terms of old school, I'd love to be as quick on the ball as Bobby the Brain Heenan.
I was thinking that myself. Is there going to be some? Because Bobby Heenan's like I still love watching the old Rise, like the spectacular AWA documentary on the WWE Network.
Yeah.
It's probably like my go-to. If I'm stuck for something to watch, it's my go-to. And the bit on Bobby the Brain Heenan is so much fun. Like some of the things he says and some of the things he does. It's just
he's brilliant. And he's so sharp as well.
I'd
love to be that sharp. He comes out with some stuff and it's just like, wow. Jerry the King Lawler always tried to emulate that, but he was never quite the level of Bobby the Brain Heenan. Like commentary, in management, but the ones that, even a little bit, like, because I'm a bit devious. One of my words is devious, right? Manipulative, like Mr. Fuji. Didn't say much, but it was always a presence.
Yeah.
and he just put his cane up or something like that and hit someone with a cane. You know, that kind of thing.
The sand.
You know, it can have something like that as well. But there's loads of people I want to sort of borrow off, and in hindsight, most of the managers that we talk about were all heels.
Yeah.
You know, apart from Miss Elizabeth, really.
Yeah.
I can't think of any face managers, so to speak.
Thing is, having a manager is quite a heel thing to do, though, isn't it? Because it's someone who could interfere in your match.
And, yes, and you've got to know when to interfere. So, like I say, I'm not training per se at the moment, but I know if I'm going to be devious and dastardly and manipulative and maniacal, and all these words that I've come up with to describe my character, the Reverend Luke Edwards, I know I'm going to get clocked at some point for interfering. So I'm going to need to know how to take a bump.
I say, yeah, because you'll have to do some. I imagine you'll do some in-ring stuff. Even if not, you know, for some reason I can't imagine you doing like a top rope elbow drop or anything. But well, I don't know. Maybe you will. I don't know. But
how about a top rope elbow drop with a moonsault?
Yeah,
I created that once on a WWE game. Can't do that anymore on WWE games.
No,
Rubbish.
Yeah. The creator move section on that game should never have existed. It was.
No. It should have been a lot tighter anyway.
100%.
Put it that way. Yeah.
100%. Some of them. I remember doing the pack hammer for you, the fisherman suplex jackhammer, and it looked awful. Like horrific. Oh, pardon me. Sorry, burping there.
Right.
Yeah, it looks absolutely horrific on the game. I think if they'd made, like you said, a bit tighter, got all the sections a little bit more melded together, so it looked a little bit more natural, I think it would have been good. But I don't think. Yeah, I think that was something I was happy for them to remove from the game.
Yeah. So what was your first ever wrestling game then, dude?
Oh wow, it'd be Warzone.
Warzone. Classic.
No, actually, it wouldn't have been Warzone. It would have been WCW NWO Revenge on the N64.
Oh, nice.
And I had absolutely no idea who any of these people were other than Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
I didn't know who anyone was. Got all these lists of people. Like now, pretty much can tell you all of them, like Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, Scott Steiner, and all them. But at the time, the only one I recognized Rick and Scott Steiner, but the only one that I legitimately went, I know exactly who that is. It was Hulk Hogan, and I was just like, didn't look anything like Hulk Hogan in the game because he had like the bandana on and the sort of dyed goatee and
the beard.
Yeah, and the leggings, like the black leggings with the lightning on. It's like, oh no,
well, that's not Hulk Hogan. He wears red and yellow.
Yeah, that was it. Like, I think it was one of his outfits. So when you pressed across on the 64 controller, it gave you different outfits. I'm pretty certain it was one of his outfits, but I was kind of just like, well, it says he's in this NWO, so I'm just gonna. Didn't even know what NWO was.
And the rest is history, so to speak.
Yeah,
yeah. It's crazy, isn't it? Right. I mean, okay, right, okay. What's the most crazy wrestling game you've ever played?
Crazy.
Yeah, like there's been some interesting variations of wrestling games, hasn't there?
God, yeah, there has been. You've had the Legends of Wrestling game.
Yeah.
I didn't play the second one. I only played the first one. I quite enjoyed that. Was from Acclaim. That was, if I remember correctly. That was really fun. ECW Hardcore Revolution was really fun because that was done by Acclaim. So it's essentially just Warzone with ECW people.
Yeah, and some random match types like the lava match or whatever it was.
Yeah,
playing that. It's like, what? You could chuck this guy into lava?
Yeah. Do we count things like what was that? Is it WrestleMania? I mean, I've never played it. I sat and watched you play it. It's WrestleMania 19.
Yeah.
Is it 19?
Yeah, because there was actually wrestling in that game.
Yeah.
But I remember us watching.
Stop Miss McMahon's evil empire, haven't you?
Yeah, when we watched, what did we watch? A montage of Super Best Friends play, wasn't it?
Yeah.
We found it really funny. So I got to stop Vince McMahon's evil empire.
Yeah, that was it, wasn't it? It was the whole point of purpose of the game. Let's take down Vince McMahon.
And it was like
Kurt Angle.
Beat 'em up, wasn't it?
Was that the do you remember Tekken Force mode introduced in Tekken 3? It was like that, but awful.
That's not much to compare it to, because that. Oh man, yeah,
Like,
I remember playing that. It's like, it just looks a lot more fun. Looks a lot more fun when other people were playing it.
Yeah, it wasn't fun to play. It was fun to watch people playing it. The people were like, "What is this game?" It's like, I don't know. I'm sorry. I've
still got that, actually. I've still got it on myself.
Yeah. Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing.
I'll tell you what I did pick up recently, actually. Talk about crazy wrestling games. This is why it came up to my mind. I picked up WWE Crush Hour.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I never played that. That was PS2, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh,
I never played it either.
It's like, what was it called? Was it Vigilante 8 with the where you just built massive cars that were just destruction vehicles and just smash everything?
Yeah. It was like, what is it? Twisted Metal.
Like Destruction Derby kind of deal.
Yeah. But it must have been a thing around that time. I believe this was released around about the same time as WrestleMania 19, based on who's in it.
Quite possible, yeah.
Because I think you're having to stop Vince McMahon's evil empire in that one as well.
Of course.
I think the basic story in WWE Crush Hour is that Vince McMahon and WWE have taken over the whole TV network, and every channel is a WWE thing. Quite ironic, really. It was way before its time, because I'm sat here watching the network now.
True.
So, yeah. So have we, like, just going straight off the subject now? You were watching that match the same time as I was, wasn't you?
Yeah, essentially, yeah.
So it should be okay. Yeah, should be okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So, later on. Won't be any issues, and just watch it. I've just put on the Untold Shawn Michaels versus HBK. So
Shawn Michaels versus HBK. I don't believe I've ever seen that match.
The Mania 21, isn't it? Yeah, Mania 21.
So he beat himself up. Shawn Michaels versus HBK.
Oh, Shawn HBK versus Kurt Angle. Oh man.
We'll chalk that up to baby brain, mate. Eh?
Yeah, yeah. Do you know what? I was actually thinking to myself, do you know what? Try and get an hour in before Mania, because like I'm actually at home. I'm not with them. They're her parents' house. So I'm actually at home, because she was like, "You're not watching Mania here," and I was like, "But why not? I don't want to watch it." Oh, okay, fine, I'll go home.
Okay.
So I'm here at the moment. So I'm just in my actual room, got my telly and everything set back up, because I've taken the PS4 around there as well.
Yeah.
But yes, I was thinking to myself, do I want an hour actually? But yeah, it's HBK versus Kurt Angle from Mania 21. Great match. But they're doing Untold special on it, which is like
pretty cool actually. Yeah, I started watching the because they played it straight after WrestleMania had been on last night, and I started watching the Drew McIntyre,
the Chronicle.
It was actually pretty decent.
Okay.
Like, from what we watched, because we just sort of sat talking afterwards, and yeah, it was really good. Really enjoyed it.
I'll pick that up at some point. The after tonight's Mania, the second part of Mania tonight, it's an Undertaker one, isn't it?
Is it?
Yeah, it was announced on Facebook a bit earlier when I was scrolling through. I can't remember what it's called, but I think it's like Undertaker Last Ride or something. It's straight after WrestleMania Part 2, so I mean, I have a good chance I won't be watching that. I'll be asleep, but pick it up when I get up in the morning.
Well, I mean, as far as WrestleMania went, I say that it was really easy to watch.
Yeah.
I had a bit of a lull in the middle where I was a bit sleepy, and I just got up and got myself a drink and came back again, and I was fine.
Okay.
So it was really easy to watch, if that makes any difference. But I would definitely get yourself an hour if you can.
Yeah, I was thinking that. I've got Resident Evil 3 to play as well, so I want to try and get a couple hours in on that. May get a couple hours in on that, then get myself an hour nap. I don't need to see the pre-show. I can play the pre-show, and then get back up in time for the main show at midnight.
Yeah, I'd say that. Anyway, so now you've watched that. Basically, what was an outdoor buried alive match.
Yeah.
What do you think they're going to do with AJ? Is he going off on some leave? He's literally been buried.
Maybe. I'm always really dubious about these things because, like, AJ at the end of the day is still a full-time performer, and I'm always really dubious when Undertaker's been coming back to have these matches because let's face it, we're not going to see Taker again play for some time. So it's kind of like, what do you do now with AJ? Maybe get him versus McIntyre because I'm gonna go on the bandwagon and say McIntyre's winning.
Yeah.
So maybe have like him taking on McIntyre. That could be quite entertaining.
Yeah.
Or in fact, that actually feels like the only thing I'd like to see. Him challenging for the title again. It feels like he's been. I know he had the US title for ages, but it feels like could come back and go straight back after the main event title. Him and Matt, I imagine it'd be all right.
Do you think he's going to be like a change of character for AJ Styles?
I don't know. I think it depends on how much of that OC merchandise they're shipping.
Yeah. I mean, like, I'm talking about, like, you know, like when Cody got his nose broken or cheekbone broken or whatever, and he came back as Cody Rhodes with the mask.
Yeah.
Now AJ's been buried alive. Is he going to come back as, like, someone who's like, oh, you buried me alive. I'm scared to go to sleep and all this kind of stuff. And it's going to be like a really scaredy version of AJ Styles, something like that.
I can't imagine them doing that.
Then I think of that kind of sort of character, and I think, then they'd still be feuding with someone like The Undertaker. So maybe not.
Maybe wouldn't be. I think maybe come back with a little bit of like, I got my butt kicked. I need to. I'm still the best. It doesn't matter. I'm still the best here. Undertaker it'd be like Undertaker had an unfair advantage. He used his magical powers to blow up the roof and teleport from the burial plot to behind me, and I can still beat him. I'm the man, or whatever. I think he'll come back and he'll just be. Hopefully, I'd still quite like to see them do something with the OC, because it just feels like
they're not using them properly.
Yeah, like it's just AJ. It's like, oh, we need something for Anderson and Gallows to do. So you guys just hang out with AJ and do what you do. I'm sure they're having loads of fun, and I'm sure they're having they've just been in a plan with the Undertaker, so I'm sure they're having a great amount of fun. But I don't know. It feels like, come on, you've got they were a pretty big deal in Japan. You could easily make them that big of a deal in WWE.
Yeah, and it feels like every time they're sort of trying to pull the trigger. They do it, and then immediately they just like, no.
At least with the OC stuff, it feels like they're a little bit more committed because they've released merchandise for them. When they called themselves the Club back when they first came in, they didn't do any of that. They didn't have T-shirts. They didn't have anything. The closest they got was like the Balor Club T-shirt. And they never really did anything with it. But at least with OC, it feels like, well, actually, you know what? They've given them 2 T-shirts, so they've had 2 T-shirts now, and That's got to be positive. Evolution had 2 T-shirts.
So
Do you know what I mean?
So if you've got 2 T-shirts, you know you've arrived.
But I say you've got to be doing something, right? They're giving you 2 T-shirts. They've come to you and said, "We'd like to make you more merchandise." So
Dear.
I think it's got to be something, hasn't it? You know what I mean? Discounting Evolution's like modern T-shirts, like when they reformed, because they were awful. Like where there were skulls on the front. That was awful.
Yeah, and the skull, there was the skeleton where they were stood in the archways.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, when they were like skeletons. Yeah, they were horrible T-shirts.
That's not Evolution.
No, that's them all dead.
It says a lot, doesn't it? they've all gotten so old that they turned skeleton.
Yeah, I mean, they did an Evolution T-shirt, like a limited edition one, which had all 3 of their logos like merged together. So it had like Triple H's like weird cross thing with like the Batista Biohazard logo in the middle of it, and then a Viper wrapped around it, which was amazing to have that T-shirt.
Yeah, that was good.
But it still didn't feel like an Evolution T-shirt. Do you know what I mean? When you had the big gold logo which said Evolution in it, and on the back it was paid, laid, and made, and then you had Evolution Gentleman's Establishment.
Yeah, I love that T-shirt.
Yeah, you know, if you want to play, you got to pay written on the back. It's like just these classic T-shirts that they weren't dark or demonic or didn't spew like any form of venom or anger. It was just, we're really cool guys and we have our own cool T-shirts. You know what I mean? That was the vibe you got from Evolution. But
almost the second coming of like the 4 Horsemen kind of thing, wasn't it?
Yeah,
they said it on the aggression documentary, didn't they?
Yeah, got their own episode. That's how cool they were.
Yeah, and I found that was one of my favourite episodes of that actually. Probably the favourite, because it got behind one of my favourite factions.
Yeah,
and it's one of those factions that again I didn't really, because I didn't watch Raw. SmackDown was always readily available.
Yeah.
But Raw wasn't.
Yeah.
So you had the basic Sky package. You could watch SmackDown on Saturday morning.
Yeah, you could. Raw,
but you couldn't watch Raw. So that's that. I mean, okay. So we'll go back to just thought of another question. Go back to Ruthless Aggression. The brand split, the original brand split.
Yeah.
Was it Raw or SmackDown?
I think you see, that's a difficult question in itself, because I loved Raw because of Evolution. Triple H really was the thing that kept me watching Raw. But SmackDown had Lesnar, and it and it had Taker.
Yeah.
And it had more matches that I was interested in watching, I think.
Yeah. It was definitely the wrestling show, wasn't it?
Oh, 100%. Like
it was definitely the wrestling show.
It was the stuff I wanted to watch. Especially sort of the early doors when, after they announced after Vince and Ric Flair did their bit and you had the GMs instead. Those first couple of months when you had Bischoff and Stephanie, they were awesome. Like when they introduced all the belts to the different brands, said, okay, really is separate brands now because we're going to have different belts.
Yeah.
And just some of the like you had Edge and Ray that were a team. You had Angle teaming up with someone.
Yeah. He went for those titles on his own.
Yeah, I think he did in the end. I think he picked him up on his own. But then you had like Los Guerreros as well. They that's how they manifested. And then look at what happened with that. You had Eddie Guerrero becoming WWE champion because essentially he got over in Los Guerreros. That was how he got himself over. It wasn't doing the Latino Heat thing he was doing before that.
The Mamacita and the stuff with China. It was that tag division. I mean, we've always bonded over being, like our love of tag team wrestling.
Yeah,
haven't we?
Yeah,
And I
always
think
been a big thing.
when we first started chatting and started talking, I remember my first chat with you, and this is how we became really good friends. Bit of background here, folks. We were working on the doors in Wolverhampton for the Students' Union, weren't we?
Oh yeah, in the good old.
Can you remember this story?
In the bright days of 2006.
In the bright days of 2006, back in the day.
Back in day.
And we were on the front door, weren't we? After closing. Not well after the doors closed. It wasn't the Students' Union hadn't actually closed, and then a group of lads came, didn't they?
Yeah.
Can you remember this? The group of lads came, and we really bonded from that point because the group of lads tried to force their way in.
Yeah.
Didn't they? And we locked the door, and can you remember the handle came off as well?
I do seem to remember that. Yeah.
The handle came off, and they swung their half of the handle.
Yeah, those doors were
swung it at the door, didn't they? And then can we get some help up here? Because we've got a group of lads. It's why didn't you call earlier? Well, we were trying to lock the door so they didn't break in. You know what I mean? And we've been best mates ever since, haven't we? I trust you with my life.
Oh yeah.
And then we started bonding over wrestling. We've always had this thing that we were always going to be a team.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that, I think about that sort of era, the 2003, 2004 tag era, and Stephanie holding those titles. They looked old school.
Yeah.
They had the old school design. And then Stephanie McMahon, obviously. Let's think about that for a moment. Oh. Wow. What an image. And we then got the DX returning as well. We bonded over that, didn't we?
Oh, 100%. We probably were the Triple H and Shawn Michaels of the Students' Union.
Yeah, I remember trying to do that. I split my trousers.
Oh yeah, that's why I ended up taking the Shawn Michaels role. Because there's loads of photos of me and you doing that talk. Loads of them.
Yeah, it's brilliant. And all the t-shirts and stuff like that we had done and whatnot. It's just it was crazy, wasn't it?
Yeah, I've still got the one we wore for the last night of the Students' Union. I've still got that somewhere.
But I think I've still got mine.
My actual DSC t-shirts are long gone. The print on them all got washed off. It's horrible.
I think I've still got some of mine. You know.
Yeah.
I don't think I wear them anymore because they were quite risque, weren't they?
Yeah.
The coffee one. I don't really walk around with that on my t-shirt now that I'm sort of working with kids and stuff.
Oh yeah, no, I'd probably still wear it to my job, but I can wear what I want. So I'm always I've said, I've got my 2 Big Boss Book Club t-shirts, so I'll wear them. The good thing about the Cocket t-shirts was how they were all personalized.
Yeah.
So that was what was fun about them all. All had different colour and all had the different quote on the back.
Yeah,
that was what was good about them.
I spent ages doing that. You know that t-shirt shop where I got those from.
Yeah,
doesn't exist anymore. I think Char Grill does still go, but they don't do custom t-shirts anymore. I remember getting those for a really good price. But I do my t-shirts now through close to order.
Yeah, me too.
I've got my t-shirt shop on there.
Yeah,
absolutely free. There's a plug. Go to the t-shirt shop and buy your merch. You can show your colours. Yeah. So I've now got a Raw logo.
Yeah.
And a SmackDown logo.
Yeah.
Cheap shot.
They are really good t-shirts, to be honest. They do look good.
Yeah, they do. I got both. I did myself a bit of a service there because they printed one of my t-shirts wonky.
Oh.
And they're like, well, we'll just reprint that one. I said, well, can I get a refund instead? It's like, okay. So then I went and reordered. I went and ordered the Raw logo one as well. So I've got both of them.
Oh, nice.
With the intention of wearing them to Raw and SmackDown in Tampa.
Fair play.
Obviously not going to happen now, but it does give me a year to get a WrestleMania logo one.
Yeah, you got the Hollywood
and an NXT one as well. So I'll have a different T-shirt for each one I go to.
You're gonna do like a Cheap Shot Mania one,
yeah,
Mania one.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I'll do a Cheap Shot Mania.
Nice.
Or just like do because I've done a NWA one as well.
Oh.
With the globe in the background and stuff.
Yeah, I've seen that actually. Silly me.
I really like that one. Adds loads of money to it. It adds loads to the pricing if you put an extra logo on.
Oh, it does. It does.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. My the T-shirt that I sort of got you to help me out with the imaging for.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. If I ever decided to, if anyone would ever buy that, I don't think they would, simply because of how much it cost me in the end.
Yeah, I think the basis is to go. I mean, close to order. It's all a free shop anyway, so they do all the printing for you, which is why it's great. Because as long as you can put people to that, and I'll keep mentioning it because I get kickback. They print it all and send it out as is when the people buy it. So you don't even have a hand in sort of creating it or anything. You just put your logo on.
Yeah, it's
great.
Yeah, they are.
Only me bought anything from there at the moment, but I can wear it on my videos and eventually wear it on my videos and eventually people will buy it. Go and buy the merch.
That's it. Keep it on there. As long as the design's on there, it's available, isn't it?
Yeah, it is available now. Close to order. Stores close to order. Yeah. Cheap Shot Nation.
I keep thinking to myself, like, I want to design more T-shirts, just because I keep coming up with different things. I'm like, oh, that'd be great on a T-shirt. And then I kind of think, yeah, but I'll leave it for now. Got to look after the kiddo.
Yeah.
I can't keep buying T-shirts for myself.
No, and I'm going to do a shout. Not that they're going to listen to it, but I'm going to do a shout out to Wrestle Crate because the T-shirt in last month's Wrestle Crate was absolutely awesome. Jordan Devlin.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, really good, really good. Loved it. I'm loving my Wrestle Crate.
Right. Yes, it's not something I'm not going to lie. It's not something I'm probably going to pull the trigger on. I have enough vices as it is.
Yeah.
Between my games and reading, I've quite a big monthly expenditure. I mean, not so much reading at the moment. The libraries are closed, but the games and stuff, I seem to have spent more money on games this last month. I said, but not just like obviously my video games, but I've got like all my board games, card games, and stuff I play. So they've all started. Like the Marvel have released. Well, Fantasy Fight Games have released one with Marvel called Marvel Champions. And I said no, I'm just going to buy the core box and I'm just going to play that because they probably won't release anything I'm interested in anyway. The first thing they did was release Captain America and the Green Goblin. I was like, okay, looks like I'm buying into that. And they've just announced the next big box, which is going to be the Rise of the Red Skull. I was like, oh, great, fantastic! Like one of my top favorite Marvel villains. I'm going to release a box on him, so I guess I'm going to have to buy that. I play Arkham Horror with some mates here, which I've been buying everything. And I said, guys, we've got quite a lot of stuff to play through. I'm not going to buy any more now. I'm not going to buy the next cycle. I'm going to just leave it and just pick up the one-offs, like the standalone games and things like that, just to keep bulking up, but no more heavy investment. And then the first thing they did was announce that they were doing a campaign that was more than likely going to have Cthulhu in it. It's like, if you're not playing Arkham Horror to fight Cthulhu, you've probably not got no business playing it. So it's like, oh, great. I guess I'm going to have to find the money for these things somewhere.
Yeah. So that's what you do outside of watching wrestling, then.
Yeah.
You play your card games. I know you're big into your card games. I think I've tried to play a couple of them with you at some point.
Yeah. I mean, the problem is a few of them, it's like more casual now. I used to be, when we first met, I was playing a lot of competitive games. Like, I mean, WWE had one, WWE Raw Deal. They had one, and I've still got all my stuff for that. Like, it's probably in terms of gameplay, it's not one of it's okay, but in terms of the social aspect of it, like the people who I played with, probably one of the most fun games I've ever played.
Yeah.
And that went back to, I think it started in '97, because the first set had like The Rock, Kane, Undertaker, Mankind. Actually, when did Jericho come into it? Was he 1998? I think it was.
Yeah, it was like, because there was the countdown, wasn't there? There was it might have been 99, you know.
Well,
it came in like halfway through the year, and it's like, what's this Millennium Countdown thing?
Well, it was actually when Jericho was in, because Jericho's in the first set. But yeah, Raw Deal was a great game. WCW had a card game, which I didn't realize. I've actually got I haven't even opened it. It's still sealed. I managed to find it in a random comic shop in Rill. The 2-player starter set. It's like, I think it's like the Cat versus Jeff Jarrett. And I'm like, I got it for like £6. And I was just like, I saw it in the cabinet. I was like, yeah, I'm having it. And I still haven't opened it. It's still sealed now. I'm too scared to open it. As weird as it sounds.
I've been watching a bit of WCW recently, actually. Like the end stuff, like where Vince Russo is booking it into oblivion.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I happened to watch Ready to Rumble. David Arquette.
Yeah, great film.
Yeah,
whole reason David Arquette became WCW champion.
Yeah, exactly. So what are you going to do, brother? You're going to watch that. You need to go and watch the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
It was overbooked so much. But you know what? If you ever get a chance to go back on the network and watch it, match.
Is it on the
network? It's the film isn't.
Oh, but
the film isn't. The pay-per-view is. The actual match with the triple cage.
Oh, yeah.
It was overbooked, but it was a bit like the Boneyard match. Oh. Really fun. Really fun. You know, you're either going to love it or you hate it. Very much a Marmite match. But when I watched it, the rest of the pay-per-view was crap. I mean, really bad. I mean, there was false finish after false finish, disqualifications upon disqualifications, run-ins. Very Vince Russo.
Yeah.
But that last match, right up until the end of it, I mean, it was just really fun. It was so ridiculously awful that it was fun. You know what I mean?
See, I think that's one of my
watching it. I was like, wow, this is really good.
I think that was one of my problems with the Attitude Era. Just something you touched on there was the whole false finishes, screw finishes, and all that type of stuff, the overbooking. And I think that's kind of one of my problems with the Attitude Era. At least with the Ruthless Aggression Era, I don't know, it didn't feel chaotic. It felt
there wasn't a lot of run-ins, and there was the odd one.
Yeah, the odd one here and there. There was factions and stuff like that, but it wasn't I mean, look at one point in Attitude Era, you had the Corporation, the Ministry, DX, Nation of Domination, the DOD. Is that right?
Yeah. Disciples of Apocalypse, DOA.
DOA, yeah.
Los Boricuas.
Yeah.
Remember the Boricuas?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, I mean, you had the Heart Foundation. You'd got all these DX. You've got all these factions. It's it felt very okay, so which faction is going to be going up against this faction? It's like,
and they actually turned it to faction warfare in the end, didn't they?
But to be honest, WCW was very much like that as well at one point, even with the NWO.
Well,
the NWO wasn't the first big faction in WCW. You had Kevin Sullivan's the Dungeon of Doom or something.
Dungeon of Doom. Yeah, that was a thing when Hulk Hogan first came in, wasn't it?
Yeah, they had them, and it's like they have factions, and then obviously like the NWO split into Wolfpack, and then you had LWO and NWO Hollywood, and
yeah.
That, but
BWO was in ECW, wasn't it? And everyone wanted a WO after the name, didn't they?
Yeah, that was it. Because it was
like, the faction warfare. At the time, I loved it.
Yeah, it hasn't aged well. Now. Yeah, has not aged well at all.
I remember, was it possibly WrestleMania 13? I want to say 13. And we watched like a faction warfare thing. Might have even been Survivor Series. It was like Legion of Doom, and it was Legion of Doom, wasn't it?
French announce table.
Yeah. And where was it? Animal that tried to do a pile driver and just sort of rolled off the side of the table.
This matches, man.
Yeah, sacre bleu.
It's like, oh my God, he's putting through the French announce tables. Oh no.
That's why they move it away from the ringside now.
Bear with me, I'm just cracking another book.
Getting started early then without reading.
You got it, haven't you? I mean, I've got energy drink for later, so just got a couple of light books for the next couple hours, and then I think we've got some other books downstairs. So
nice.
Yeah.
I've got myself a shelf full of books as well.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Currently in the chiller.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I haven't got a fridge up here in the loft. I probably need. If I was coming back here on a more permanent basis, I would probably invest in one.
Well, it's my mum and dad's camping one.
Oh, okay.
It's like a plug-in cooler.
Oh, nice.
So that might be something more, but more affordable.
Yeah, much to look at. Maybe not being here much anymore now. It's a bit. So it's kind of nice to have my own space for a little bit, but
yeah. It always is, isn't it? That's why I've sorted out the front room or my office.
Yeah.
It's somewhere that I can do things like this, like podcasting, and I'm going to do the review of the first part of WrestleMania as well.
Cool.
And get that uploaded before the second part.
Nice.
Goes live tonight. But yeah, I've got my own little space now. Have you seen my office?
Yeah.
Yeah, you've seen it. Yeah. Of course you were.
I didn't sleep in there though.
I've moved it around now. Everything's the opposite way.
Oh, okay. So the desk isn't right as you walk through the door anymore.
Yeah. Well, no, desk's still where it is.
Okay.
But I've moved my TV.
Oh, okay. So it's like the opposite side.
Bit more space, bit more light, bit more airy.
Nice.
And I can see the fire, and I can switch that on if I'm cold or whatever. So it's it's all good. Yeah, it's all good. Looks good. Anyway, well, I think we're 60 minutes into this podcast, my friend.
Yeah.
So we're sort of just shooting the breeze at this point in time. So, I'd like to thank you very much for agreeing to have this confession session with the Reverend.
It's been happy to be here.
Yeah, and it's been really cool. Like I say, it's kind of like a shoot, isn't it?
Yeah.
We just started talking, and then I was like, "Oh yeah, we're doing a podcast, by the way."
Yeah, I just brief, a quick story. I don't remember, a few years ago now. I wanted to start off my own podcast as well, just chatting to my lads and stuff, mainly about different things. But the first one I actually did and put together was with Jim, and I completely forgot to tell him that I'd pressed record on my phone. We were talking away for 20 minutes. And in the end, I realised, I was like, he doesn't know I'm recording this. No. I kind of silently point at my phone. And then because I was listening, and then when I listen to it back, you can tell when I do it because you can just about hear him talking, but then you can hear once I've silently pointed to the phone and gone like we're recording, the volume pipes up and you can hear him better.
All right.
But I probably still got it somewhere on my laptop. But yeah, it's in the way, and I was just like, oh man, I forgot to tell him I was recording. So I was like 20 minutes in, I was like, I'm not re-recording this. I'm just silently point at the phone, let him know I'm recording, and we'll just see where we go.
Yeah, love it.
Yeah.
I love the shoot thing. I did the same thing with Carl. We're just sort of chatting away, and then it's like, oh right, we might as well make this the podcast because got some good feedback on that one. So hopefully we'll get some good feedback on this as well.
Nice, sweet. Let's say I'm going to keep writing bits for you as well.
Absolutely, man.
Your blog and my blog.
Yeah,
I pretty much post everything to yours, so mine seems a little pointless at this point, but no, I'll keep posting them up for you. So yeah,
nice.
I've already started writing something about Resident Evil 3 anyway, just like a first thoughts, feelings, emotions.
Yeah. Cool.
So hopefully
I like it.
I'll have that up for you.
Nice. Thank you very much, sir.
No worries, brother.
Yeah. Well, we'll call it there. Just like to say thank you to the big boss for joining us on the podcast, on the confession sessions. Let's get this right. Confession sessions with the Reverend. The confession sessions with the Reverend. Yeah, thank you very much, brother, for popping along.
No, thank you for having us, mate. Appreciate it.
And I'll catch you later for WrestleMania.
Speak to you in a bit, dude. I'll catch you online later.
Enjoy your book.
Will do, pal. You too.
See you later, dude.
Take it easy, brother.